Well, welcome back to another episode of the Kotatsu Chatsu. I'm Brandon.
Yuka.
And yeah, we've been kind of taking a little breather doing podcasts recently, right? Taking a bit of a break in between. But we're back today. How are things been going with you? Kind of catch up?
It's been good,
Yeah.
normal, nothing really big change.
No big change surviving the coronavirus?
Yeah, compared to another countries, our prime minister doesn't really have a solid plan or request or command to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, at the end of, beginning of this month or end of last month, they just like decided to close the school.
Mm-hmm.
So, and request, strongly recommended nation to use flexible time to avoid rush hour or work from home.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, he doesn't really show us what we are supposed to do as other countries
Yeah.
asking nation to do
Quarantine?
quarantine.
Kakuri
So,
in Nihongo.
yeah, quarantine.
Kakuri. I
Yeah.
remembered. I can't believe I remembered.
Quarantine. But in Japan, I guess even like the number shows we have around 1,000 infected people,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they can't say they are going to cancel Olympic at this moment,
Mm.
so they can't really show the real number, or they don't even like encourage nation to take exam, or they just don't know what to do at this moment
Mm.
in order to save time to come up short of a hospital. They just kind of like make everything vague.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been like a month. Our prime minister gave us a kind of specific request, like shutting down the school and use work from home. But
Yeah.
other than that, nothing really, going on. So
No, I mean I've been going to the office every day.
yeah, me too. Like my time was changed.
Yeah, you had a bit more flexible time.
Right, but the thing is, like, I have to take the, busy train anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and contact to people a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the, amusement park or temple or museum themselves, decided to close until the end of this month.
That's
But
true.
after this month, I don't know if they are going to open or not.
Well, I did read that some of the amusement parks will open till limited capacity, whatever that means.
Actually, like one of the, big amusement park in Tokyo just opened today or yesterday.
Which one?
Toshimaen Park.
I never heard of it.
It's in Ikebukuro, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they have like a limited operation, meaning like they don't open whole park.
Yeah.
But like I saw so many people doing out, like I saw so many people started to go out
Mm-hmm.
and mingling together with their friends, eating out, dining out together,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, I mean, we went out today, right? And there was a guy. We went for a walk, and we were at Yoyogi Park, and there was a guy outside of it saying, "Don't sit down, don't drink and eat under the cherry blossom trees." But everybody was,
yeah,
right?
because like it's kind of
Performance issues. There we go. We're back.
yeah, it's kind of understandable because it's been 1 month and we don't have any next command or request or recommendation from the the leader of country.
Mm-hmm.
So like we are island, we are isolated from other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So we started to think, we know that number of infected people, and then like this is like no cure, no treatment, but the virus and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But we are more like optimistic compared to another countries, because we don't have any like order, specific order. So people just like do whatever they wanna do.
Yeah.
They like some people like try to isolate themselves voluntarily
Mm-hmm.
at home, staying at home, but it's been a month, and then we don't have any like suggestion or anything. So no wonder people started to go out and then try to have fun.
Yeah.
They started to complain because
Yeah.
we don't know what's going on, and then it seems like Prime Minister at this moment that don't really care to share what they're gonna do for us.
Well, I don't think they know. But I mean, I was talking yesterday, some of my colleagues, that, I think Japan really isn't testing, because I read that they have the capacity to test about 8,000 per day at a hospital or whatever, but they're only testing about 1,200. So 1/6 of what they're supposed to.
It's still leave up to the each hospital or doctors. So if doctor like thinks you need to be tested, you can't go out of blue to the hospital and you can claim yourself, I think I have coronavirus, please test me. They are not gonna pursue the test.
No, but but my point is I think it's helped keep life kind of normal here. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe the numbers are inaccurate, but there's no sense of panic. Like, we see the Western media from here and stuff that's starting to happen in the West that we've been dealing with here for a couple months now, and it's night and day. Like, everybody in Japan is pretty calm.
Because we don't know what's going on.
That's
really.
fair.
Yeah.
But there was like 1 week of sort of panic, but everything's kind of got back to normal from there. And yeah, I mean, schools are going to open up in next week again.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, it's kind of not knowing has kind of helped maintain the calmness. Whether that's good or bad or not, I think it's kind of contributed to, kind of the peacefulness that still remains here.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, cause like that's how we always like deal with a thing. If you don't know, you don't get panicked.
Yeah.
So like we don't share that very important or dangerous information in order to avoid panic people, because panicked people, it can be the most issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't tend to, when you start panicking, you tend to stop thinking, and then you make bad decisions.
Yeah, but who knows, like
Right.
maybe like after officially Olympic get cancelled.
Do you think they're going to get canceled?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Postponed.
Postponed?
Not cancelled, but postponed.
Like, but postponed 1 year? Because I think if it's going to be postponed, it's going to be a whole year. Because they
Yeah.
held them in the summer, right?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be through the fall.
Yeah, so maybe 1 to 2 years.
But if they hold it 2 years, then it's going to be with the Winter Olympics. So I think it's only going to be about 1 year if they do postpone.
They will.
I'm kind
Because like so many athletes, like they can't even like compete for the Olympic selection.
Yeah, the qualifying. Yeah. There's
So
lots of
it's
complaining.
how can it be possible for each country to select the representative?
Yeah, I mean,
It's very hard at this moment.
they're going to have to decide in April. By May, anyways. They have a whole month to figure it out. But
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed if they cancel, because then I actually got one ticket to go see one of the games, and it will be non-refundable.
Yeah. I'm guessing
That
like
sucks.
yeah, I'm guessing maybe like if you pay extra, maybe you can replace your ticket for next Olympic
Maybe.
postponed.
But then if
But we don't know.
Yeah, but we'll see what
No,
happens.
I
but-
have to blow my nose.
Oh, Yuka has to go blow her nose. But yeah, so we've been dealing with the coronavirus here. Not so bad so far, but it looks like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. The world's a bit crazy at this point. I think the economics are going to catch up with the rest of the world. We're seeing some stuff, but you know, we got to keep moving forward. So today, I kind of wanted to talk about not the coronavirus, although that is an important topic of the moment. But I was going to give an update on my water challenge. It's been 1 month now and a day since I began drinking only water as a beverage. So I eat food, but I've only drank water. I don't drink tea, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink pop, I don't drink alcohol. I only drink water. Excuse me, I only drink water now. And I must say, I feel much better. I don't know if I look better. I took a picture of before I started and 1 month in, and I think I look worse in the picture. 1
No, I
month
don't
in.
think so. Your skin gets luminous, more luminous.
But in the picture, it doesn't look that way.
And then like
I look
you are
like a
like
haggard old man.
very smooth, more smooth, and then like velvet touch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently I have nice softer skin.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I definitely have a lot more energy, which is the biggest surprise because I went off caffeine. And the first couple days, as I mentioned in previous podcasts, was a bit rough. But oh, there's that bug. I gotta get it. There's a bug here. Pause.
We've been dealing with this. It's pretty big. Where did he come from?
Outside. Got him.
But we didn't leave the window open or anything.
Well, it might have been open when I was like watering our bonsai trees. Anyways, got him. Sorry. Had to do that. But
It's pretty big.
yeah. Where was I? So yeah, I was surprised because I have a lot more energy and cutting out caffeine, especially, I was a bit surprised. So I think caffeine is really not good for you. At least in my life, it's not good for me. I have more energy without it. I don't feel tired during the days. It's not the funnest thing to drink. I still crave things. Yesterday, I was dreaming. Well, yeah, this morning. I had a dream. I was doing my water. I was drinking water, and it was actually Coca-Cola because I love Coca-Cola. And then I was like, oh no, I'm drinking Coca-Cola, but it's so good. And I kept drinking it, and I was trying to hide it in my dream. And then Yuka came, and I was like, I gotta hide this from Yuka so she doesn't know I've been cheating on my challenge. But then I woke up and I felt relieved because I hadn't cheated. So, yeah. But how's the water challenge been for you looking at me do it? Are you inspired?
No.
No.
Actually, cause I know whatever I'm consuming besides water or besides green tea or something, it's not really good for my health. Cause anything I feel addiction, of course it's not good most of the time. So, but even I know that, I don't want to give up.
Yeah.
It's going to be like less fun. Like I feel like cause like you don't really focus on eating, drinking. You don't.
What do
It's
you
not
mean?
your favorite.
No, it's
right?
not. But I will say, I like when we were talking today about stretching your discipline. Like Yuka was saying, she doesn't believe she's a very patient person. So I was like, well, you have to practice being patient. And you got to practice, and like discipline isn't necessarily something that's easy either. You have to practice it to become stronger. And I was saying, so I do things like this, like I'm going to drink water for a year and no other beverage to practice my discipline, to build up my discipline. But you can do stuff like that.
No, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
Because life is
Because
short.
you like drinking coffee and Coca-Cola in front of me.
Life is short. Like, you don't know what is gonna happen tomorrow in a second.
Yeah.
So I want to spoil myself as much as I want to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna die anyway in the end.
Yeah.
So I want to live short. Like, live like...
Short?
No. Like, live like, dense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So, yeah, but I don't mind that you are doing a water challenge. Apparently, it's good for you.
yeah,
and
I feel
like,
great,
yeah,
though.
and then sleep better.
Oh, yeah, definitely sleep better.
Your skin gets smoother.
That's good for you.
And
She bites a lot more.
and also like eco reason too. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
use a lot of pet bottle because before, compared to how many times we have to throw away the 2 liter of a pet bottle,
Yeah.
we barely throw away pet bottle anymore,
Mm-hmm.
which is good for environment reason.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I
Really
have a good app called My Mizu. A friend of mine started the company. I recommend it. I've been tracking how much water I drink. So see, you can see it here. And it tracks where you can refill, but you go to a refill tracker. So since I started tracking, I've saved 55 bottles, and everyone who uses the app has saved, so up to, what is it, March 21st today, 7,177 bottles. And then you can like scroll, and so I've saved 6,050 yen, and everyone saved a total of 789,470 yen together who use the app. So it's pretty good. And then it tells you, the next one, it tells you how many kilograms of carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide, you've saved. I've saved 18.3 kilograms, and together we've saved 2,389.9 kilograms. And then the last one, I've drank 27.5 liters, and everybody who uses the app has drank 3,588.65 liters. So it's pretty cool because you kind of help the community as well. So if you guys want to, even if you're not doing a water challenge, but you have a refillable bottle, I recommend getting this app, and then you can log it. See it, you log it here, and then you pick where you are, office, home, or other, and then you hit refill. And it has a few choices: 250 milliliters, 500 milliliters, and 750 milliliters, I believe. Those are the only options at the moment, but yeah, it's pretty good. I recommend this application. It's helped me, and I'm gonna see how much money I save throughout the whole year. Really.
Yeah, but I think like environment reason it's good. I think.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I mean, I planted trees for 10 years. I care about the environment. And these people, they made a good app. So I recommend it. We're not sponsored by them or anything, but I think it's interesting to see, the difference you make in your own life, and then the added bonus of the world together.
Whenever I throw away, trash, I was always wondering where these trash have to go. It's too much. Like thinking about how much trash I throw away every day. Like we don't have land.
No.
So where we should bury.
Well, I mean, you should recycle. They should melt it down.
But we don't really do recycle. I don't. And then like Japan is one of the top country to use plastic.
Yes.
And it's like it's so difficult. Even like you try hard not to use plastic here. And
it's very difficult.
Not only plastic. I personally used to love shopping clothes. Not that anymore, but like every single time I purchase something, I throw away all the clothes.
Yes.
And then all those fabric, it's toxic.
Toxic?
Yeah, toxic when they burn it out.
Yeah, you probably should
bury something. So like even I know the sustainability, the word,
Sustainability.
yeah, sustainability, the word of sustainability, and then like I see a lot of companies, fashion companies says, oh, we care about sustainability.
Mm-hmm. But you don't think they really do? You think it?
They do compared to before, but like I guess like how many consumer really think about it.
Yeah.
Because like I never really thought about it up to recently.
Yeah.
It took like almost 40 years for me to really think about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I thought about my whole life because I come from a very remote place, and water, number one. I grew up on the largest freshwater lake in the world, so sustainability and the environment has always been where I grew up and went to school. It was always one of the more important things, and I planted trees not necessarily because I wanted to help the environment. Was the main reason, but it definitely contributed to it. And so I've always kind of been about, helping the environment. And I was kind of educated that way from a young age. I remember sitting in my grade 1 elementary school class and grade 2 elementary school class, and it's just constant, like, reduce, reuse, recycle, all this stuff. And what kind of bothers me though is like I see big companies and fashion companies or whatever, and they claim they want to be sustainable, but all they do is claim it. They don't really practice things internally.
Yeah, because I said earlier today, world is controlled by profit and money. So if you go for complete sustainability,
It's expensive.
and stop producing that much clothes.
Yeah.
Don't sell that much.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, like don't produce, but they have to for profit, right?
We'll also have programs where you use recycled clothing, take it back in, right, and remake something out of it, break the materials down back into raw form and remake something. That's an expensive process, but I'm tired of companies we call it virtue signaling, saying they're doing great things just to make themselves look good, whether it was through promotion, but they actually don't do anything.
I think they do a little bit, but like they promote more than what they say.
Well, that's what I mean.
What they do.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just like, hey, we're doing a good thing, and maybe they do it once a year. Like, oh yeah, but they can say we do it, but maybe they only do it once.
Yeah, but
right?
world works like that. It's
but
very,
I don't like it.
Yeah, I know. Like it's very sad to think, but like people, this world is operated by a very small percentage of people who has more money and power. So all decision coming from that like small percentage of rich powerful people, and we don't really know, but we kind of follow their direction.
Yep.
And in order to, we have to survive. Like so, in modern society, like kill or survive, meaning you have to make a profit. And
but I mean,
and then like they don't really, so they we didn't really think about how we are affecting to the earth or anything, and then now like we are so close to see everything is going to collapse, right? Like if we keep on having the same life choices.
Yeah.
And then like they started to kind of worry what we can do now, but it's always too late because we are always controlled by profit and money.
Well, I think it's fake worry. I don't think they actually care because they only think short term.
Yeah, because they don't care because like they are selfish. Like they don't care what it's gonna happen to us after they die.
Well, that's what I mean. We need more responsible companies. We need more responsible people running these companies who say, you know what, we're gonna spend the money to make it better. And maybe we make less money, but we're a responsible company.
I think like most of CEO can realize when they reach they are old.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if they can realize when they are younger, um, it can be different story. But that kind of like Zen area when like the time they can reach, it's not because like they are eager to make a profit when they are young.
Well, that's not, I mean, that's what I mean. It's short term, right? Like we all think short term. We don't think long term. And I think, the benefits of short term gain, what am I trying to say? There is benefits of short term gain, but there's long term consequences for those gains. And that's what bothers me is that, I think, if you, for example, if you made a responsible company, you made it sustainable, you spent the extra money, you were less profitable in the short term, I think in the long term you'll be more profitable because people will see this and they'll be like, that's something I want to support. They have, they've reduced their carbon emissions to almost zero. They reduce the waste in the world and they use what's already out there. Which cleans up the environment. It's better, and they make a profit for their employees and themselves. And I think it takes time, and we're so short-sighted. And this is why I'm seeing, like, for my life, I try to promote discipline and patience for long-term gain. And I think because our world is so fixated on the short term, we end up with the consequences in the long run. And I mean, these things go back all the way. Like I'm sure these conversations happened the generation before me. They had these conversations in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. Where they were like, we need to do something about the environment, but short-term profits and short-term gain always took precedent.
I think
I'm sure our parents had these conversations, but they just pushed them back, and I think our generation is pushing them back as well, and I'm afraid the next generation will push them back. And so I just kind of I wish I could change and shift the thinking to more long term.
I mean, like big power push us back. Big authorization push us back.
Yeah.
Because like big powerful, companies, like big powerful people push ordinary people
back.
Well,
greed, right?
Yeah.
I think it comes down to greed. It's I want it now. I want. And it kind of makes me sad because I want to see. I think we could have those profits and make the world a better place. It just takes longer. And if we can't get out of this short-term mindset, like look at the stock market, like with the coronavirus, like. Anyone with a level head would realize, okay, the coronavirus, it's not going to last forever. Maybe, let's say, a year at the most.
2 years.
Okay, well, 2 years at the most. So, but they're so fixated on short-term gains that because, fear because things have slowed down, the profits have gone down, right? So immediately the stock market goes crazy. It's just like, whoa, let's think about this for a second. This isn't going to last forever. Why are we dumping stock? It will come back up. You know what I mean? It's just people want their money now. And so fear and greed dictate. It's just mind-boggling. Like you should be able to think level-headedly and be like, okay, we'll leave it in there because it's going to come back.
I think like
but I don't know.
Globalization is also like I think like had a bad effect too, cause like your company became globally big company. Like sometimes the company walks itself far away from what you thought it's going to be.
Yeah, but I mean, I realize my view is a bit simplistic, and I'm reducing it to a simpler form as well. And I understand there's things that are more complicated, but the point is, if you let things dictate to you in the short term, there's long-term consequences. Whereas if you have a level head, you could think clearly, you'll have long-term gains, and maybe there's short-term consequences. But I would rather have a short-term consequence and a long-term gain, personally. You know, and I think it takes patience and discipline to be able to do that, and I think our world lacks so much of that. So that's also why I'm motivated to do a water challenge, to stretch my discipline, you know, to say, hey, you know, we can do this. But I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
まあね、だからまあ I would say ね、まあ I sometimes jealous people who are just farming and you know, hunting with only family.
Yeah.
Not to interact with world, just interact inside. And because look at Vanuatu, people in Vanuatu.
Yeah, Vanuatu.
Yeah, their ratio of happiness. Like I forgot how they, you know, calculate happiness. But that the statistic shows that Vanuatu people has the highest feeling happy.
Oh, I don't know. I just read an article today that said Finland was the happiest country.
Finland?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is surprising because from my understanding, they have a high suicide rate.
Yeah. Maybe that's related to the, you know, depressing weather.
Well, I don't know. It's sunny all the time.
But people have
it's cold.
People have to sleep.
Yeah, it's sunny and cold.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think like different scales, but I mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I look at, you know, the complicated side of science and stuff and how it's made our lives easier and better as well, that I'm kind of think it's kind of cool how we as a human race, we've been to the moon. You know, we have supercomputers in our hands. You know, we have food at a moment's notice. You know, like Vanuatu, you have, you know.
Yeah, it's really nice, but at the same time, I'll be happy.
I'm happy. Are you happy?
Yeah, but sometimes like people like me who are not really motivated to do much for money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how I feel in farming with family.
Well, you'd have to do a lot of work.
Yes, but I can get hang out with my family all the time.
That's true.
I don't have to commute. I don't have to go to work because, like, if you are working, think about it. Like, you know, almost 24 hours, 7 days. Like, you spend more time with a colleague or a coworker than your family.
Yes.
And it's not like you choose to hang out with these people. You get along through you get together through work. It's kind of like they are not your friends. They are not, you know, your family. But weird thing is you spend time more with them.
That's true.
Maybe like you don't really like them. Maybe, you know, you want to hang out with your friends or family more, but there is no choice in this world. So sometimes I wonder if I can get to hang out with my family all the time and don't have to freak out with all those like packed, seriously packed commute every morning and do something I don't really want to do for money to survive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder. But at the same time, like I like to travel, and because of all those change, I could fly to so many places to see the world. But maybe like, you know, same as like coronavirus in Japan, like if we don't know, we can be happy.
Yeah, you know, ignorance is bliss to a certain extent, as long as you don't die.
Yeah.
I suppose, right?
But seriously, I was so shocked today when I see so many people are doing like hanami.
Yeah, there was lots. Even though they were instructed not to.
Yeah, no one is really listening because we are at this moment kind of lack of leadership.
But yeah, I mean
like yes, like I can see like they've been, you know, trying their best, you know, but like I I asked them to share more information what's going on. Otherwise, like people start thinking coronavirus is not that big deal.
Yeah.
And we do what am I gonna do because we have to go to work anyway. We everything stores, grocery shopping, everything is open, and we still take a commute, impact this commute anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe like, and then we see what's going on in Europe, and then compared to Europe, oh, maybe we are better, like we are good to go, we're gonna do whatever we want to do. But I don't think so, because we're gonna get there soon.
Get where?
Like same as Europe.
You think? I don't know. I mean, I think Japan's always been pretty cautious about disease in general, and people in Japan were wearing masks before the coronavirus hit.
Yeah.
Right? So I think, and the deaths, we were talking with my colleague that we were looking, okay, maybe deaths are underreported, so we should look at maybe other deaths, like pneumonia deaths or something. And there really hasn't been a huge jump in pneumonia deaths or anything, which would have been like probably the closest. So, I think Japan inherently does a good job at preventing the spread of disease just by being overly cautious in general. I also heard another thing. I was reading that maybe lots of people got the coronavirus in late December and January because there was a pretty bad flu going around, but the symptoms were the same as the coronavirus, kind of like headache and pneumonia type in your lungs, no real fever and stuff. And I had that, so maybe we had an early version of the coronavirus already, because we didn't go get tested. No one knew at that time. That's another theory, and maybe the bug has kind of changed since then. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, anyways.
まあね, I guess like sometimes it's good not to know a lot.
Yeah, I think
Because like most of the people cannot handle with real information.
Well, yeah, I think if you panic, you make bad decisions.
Yeah.
I don't want to say stupid, but maybe you become a bit stupid when you panic. And, I heard a saying, a group of people or a big crowd is dumb, but an individual is smart. So, which is kind of a contradiction, a paradox, because usually it's one person in a crowd that does something stupid and then the rest follow. And there's lots of psychological mechanisms because of that. But, an individual who's alone probably won't do that stupid thing, most likely, right? But if there's a crowd, they think they can get away with it, and then other people jump in on it. So same sort of mentality with panicking.
Because I think like this is kind of like Japanese mentality. We don't tell, we don't say, we don't really pass around the reality, hard reality. For instance, we are taken to America. We thought like we had promised land to become rich or to have a stable life. But it turns out we became slave. And we became farmer to make the land better or something to as a slave.
Where was this?
In San Francisco.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then we kept in kind of shelter.
Is that why there's lots of Japanese people in San Francisco today?
I don't know, but like even same as Brazil, we went to Brazil. Because we are told we're gonna have like a promising life there, and you can support your family and everything. But once we get there, like you didn't have anything. You just became a slave. But it didn't really come up to the society because like all those people don't ever talk about it to the their grandchild. And so grandchild didn't know what really happened to their grandfather and mother. And then like the biggest reason why grandfather mother didn't pass that horrible story to the generation because they wanted to their family later on to have a great life. Meaning, like if you told this kind of story to your family, family might hate America or family might hate Brazil, and if you have that kind of hatred, you can't be really like blended into that culture, and with that like feeling, like you can really get along with people. So they decided like they're gonna keep it themselves, and they're gonna they are going to be the one who only suffer with that reality, and let the next generation have a better life.
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
So like we actually have a lot of like history that we became a slave. Japanese people became a slave when we went to promised land. We didn't even know. Nowadays it came out because like because like even like children ask the grandfather or mother what happened, how they build up their life in different countries, and they just share the beautiful stories, just nice story ever, and then they're like, oh, that's nice, like this country like accepted us right away and gave us the great opportunity. They bought that, but that's why like they don't have any hatred. They just like have a good life. But like the truth is like we are slave, right?
Yeah, I know.
So like I think maybe like this is like Japanese mentality. If you keep it, you can avoid the worst scenario.
Yeah,
or
I
something.
think so.
Maybe.
Seems to have worked, and Japanese people are pretty successful. So how about we leave it on that? Being successful. So hopefully, I'd like to make a difference in this world, but I try my best.
Yeah, so mom, it's difficult to change the world, but maybe we can change our own world, every day by doing something.
Well, that's what I do, right?
Yeah.
That's what I try to work on myself. And then, if I have an opportunity to help the world, I definitely will take it. But right now I'll focus on helping myself and you. I think that's the best place to start.
Yes.
So yeah, but anything else?
But I agree, because like if you think a lot, you can't do anything. But like if you focus on what you have, what you can do, that's great to start.
Yeah, I think so. I think starting with yourself is the best place. So that's what I'm doing, and drinking water was one of my methods to do that for this year. For many reasons, but
頑張って Brandon.
はい、ありがとうございます。
I'll be there to see you.
Yeah.
I don't join though.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming out today. Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.